And we are back live here inside the Citrus Club at Red Carpet Monday. Coming to you live, the Residuals Group. My name's Adam Lowry, and, well, with the 2 rings on your finger, man, I should have noticed walking by anyway, but I didn't. Almost no introduction, Mr. Vance Johnson. How are you, brother?
Adam, it's funny, brother, because I actually recognized you first before you even knew who I was. No, I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to be here. It's my first time actually in a long time coming to Orlando. Last time I was here, I went to the park. What's the name of the big park here?
Lake Eola?
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. So I'm here now, and I came here to be a part of the NFL Alumni Association.
Yep.
Seneca actually is a good friend of mine now, and so he asked me to be a part of this. And since I'm going to be in this area doing some work, I want to start networking and being more involved in the community here in the area.
Yep. And who got you linked to Red Carpet?
Who got me linked was Seneca McMillan.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He's the president of NFL Alumni Central Florida.
Yeah.
And I contacted him because after playing 10 years in the NFL, and my story's long, so I ended up having to go to treatment, man, because when the lights went off on my career, I was done. And so I actually started to drink heavily. I started to use heavily, and I ended up, if I had a photo, I could show you. It's on my phone, using myself into a coma.
Yeah.
So I went to treatment. And it's because when the lights went off, man, I just had no more fame. So I was no one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so without that identity, it was just about kind of stimulating. And I stimulated myself until I ended up almost dying.
Well, there's a little bit more you may not know about myself.
Okay.
I was a psychologist for a while.
Wow.
And treated addiction for a long time.
Oh, man.
And got pretty upset about how the system was treating those, getting help.
Thank you.
And wrote a book called The Cognitive Rampage. Wound up on Joe Rogan. And, well,
that was the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then the podcast took off, man. The podcast is still going, The Cognitive Rampage.
Yeah.
But I'm working on my 3rd book now. It's actually called Athlete's Depression.
Get out of here.
I believe it should be a diagnosis within the statistic manual of a real diagnosis, because regular depression to a long life athlete is not the same.
No, not even close, brother.
And
not even close. And interesting enough, I know, so I was talking to some people not too long ago about how most careers for men, you grow up, you get an education, you go to college, and you turn 26, 27, 28, you go off and live your life, and you somehow become successful by the time you're 50, 60. In professional sports, it's completely different.
Yeah.
You go from 18 years old to all of a sudden being a superstar, and you live this explosive life for the next 3 to 10 years, money, fame, fortune, and then when the lights go off, when you're really supposed to be going into that career, you don't have any identity of who you are. And if you haven't got that education, then that emotional and mental illness, man, and mental health stuff just kicks in, and you just have to try to redefine yourself. And unfortunately, what we do is we self-medicate.
Yeah.
So depression and the stuff that's happening with a lot of professional athletes after their careers are over with is serious. So I applaud you for wanting to do something like that.
Well, I appreciate it. I think it's gone unnoticed, and frankly, it goes undiagnosed and even worse off, misdiagnosed. And so when it's misdiagnosed, they start throwing pills at you, and then you're 15 pills in, you don't know what's happening. And because they're treating a high-performance athlete, well, I hate to say it, like a regular person.
So you know my story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The pills, when you start talking about the pills, I was taking anything, man, from all different types of pills for my depression to different pills for my pain. And then after my career was over with, I kind of lived by taking these pills, waking up, going to sleep, and coping with life. And as soon as I stopped taking the pills, I just found myself in such a dark place that I would just use more and more and more. And so I think I commend you. I should be one of those first interviews you do when you write this book.
That's what I was exactly about to ask you. We've interviewed a couple people. We got lined up with John Jones, a couple MMA athletes, moving into Ray Lewis, some of the guys on that side.
Nice.
But Vance, I mean, my God, 2 Super Bowl ring guy that's, well, now you're opening up a facility, huh?
Yeah, what I'm doing is right here in Orlando, actually, it's called the Blackberry Center.
Yeah.
And I'm opening up a Christian-based facility. Now, don't get me wrong. I tell everyone, there's a road to sobriety if you want to be clean. But mine comes with salvation, brother, because being a believer in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I know that when the spirit of addiction came off of me, I literally came from being this person that was depressed and manic and ready to commit suicide to someone that's free now, that my whole purpose in life is just to travel around this country and offer hope and inspire people that change is possible. You have to know my story. I was married 7 times, man. You don't have enough airtime to be talking to me right now.
Well, I think we should book you on the Cognitive Rampage podcast.
Absolutely, brother. I would look forward to it.
Yeah, we should. We'll definitely trade, and I'd love to have you on that show. We'll talk about athlete suppression more there.
I appreciate that, because a lot of us suffer. And you know what? I know where we hide at after our career's over with. And that's the reason why you said it's misdiagnosed, and now they can't find us, because we go hide the rest of our lives, and you don't know where we are until we die.
Man, that's part of it, because we're not going to ask for help.
No,
We're not.
We never did.
That's it.
Ever since we were kids, we knew how to figure it out. We knew how to climb the mountain. We knew how to win. We knew how to beat what we did. And then when we got to that age where now we know that no one can help us, and there's a point of no return, then we just disappear.
God, rest in peace, Junior Seau.
Oh man, he was a friend of mine.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was a charger for about 3 months in '91, but that's when my addiction started getting to the height of it. I ended up getting cut because of my alcoholism.
God.
Yeah.
Man, what a story, man. I you know what? We'll save that for
Let's
our
save it.
Cognitive Rampage podcast.
All right, brother.
But well, tell me more about what you're doing here. The facility that you were going into.
Yeah.
Where's it about? Where is it located? That kind of thing.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've been in this space now for about 5 years being clean, and I travel around the country sharing hope all over with a lot of facilities. And so what I've done is I partnered with a company called Oglethorpe Inc., and they have several facilities around the country. They are here they're all the way down to Fort Myers. We're all the way over in Point St. Lucie. We're in Louisiana. We're in Texas. We're in Illinois and Ohio. Soon to be the Vance Johnson Treatment Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. But right now, what we're doing is this Oglethorpe facility that we have here called Blackberry, right here just outside of Orlando, just a little bit south, is a 28 to 30-day facility. Sometimes you can go 6 months or to a year if you have to, just to go and we work with a lot of people that are suffering from mental illness all the way to different types of addiction and dual diagnosis. So what I encourage people to do is go to my website, vancecares.com, www.vancecares.com, and it'll be a little bit more information about myself and the space that I'm in and what we can do to offer people support.
I was checking our sound to make sure we're good.
Okay.
But this room just got smaller between you and I.
Yeah, man.
One of the facilities that I worked at was called the Willow.
The Willows.
The Willow in Naples.
One of Oglethorpe's.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That is one of their,
Wow.
I think, 14 locations.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'm a part of the rebranding.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some change coming.
Yeah, that's
feel me?
wow. What a small world.
That's
man.
right, man. We can get into that too for another show because
Yeah.
I said if I'm going to plant my image on this thing,
Yeah.
then obviously it has to go a certain direction. And I know it was something they were looking forward to doing by rebranding and changing and making it about the client.
Yeah.
Because this space changes, as you know, as the years go by.
Yeah.
And so even from the owners all the way down to the staff, which I was talking to today over at our other facility, I let them know that if I'm going to be a part of this, it's about individuals' lives, their mental health, and getting them on the right track. In fact, I don't believe in pointing out, brother.
Yeah.
Because if you point out, that means you graduated. You never graduate recovery.
Yeah. Life's not over.
It's a lifetime. So I believe in pointing in and knowing that this is a full-time journey to leave this earth, to go out and give back and offer somebody else some hope after you've got a chance to figure this thing out, kind of.
Yeah, a huge mentor in my life was the clinical director down there at Naples, the Willow in Naples.
Yeah.
His name's Leo D'Anibal. And, I thought I was a good counselor, but my God, I watched Leo change so many lives
man.
and still does today. He's down in Fort Myers now. But
Interesting. My son just checked in. You
Where
got
at?
a minute? So my son contacted me. My son was a one-night stand. I'm telling you, my story is crazy.
Oh.
My son was a one-night stand.
Where's your
And
book, Vince?
It's being written right now.
I was going to say, need a
Yeah.
ghostwriter?
Yeah, you know what? We may need to talk about that, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my son actually just contacted me last week. He went to prison. He was a one-night stand. He went back to my parents' home. He ended up relapsing, and he started doing drugs, and he actually stole a car and was going to a mountain in Tucson, Arizona to commit suicide and drive off the mountain. And somehow the Lord made him have a car accident, and he crashed and totaled the car
And was okay.
and went to the hospital
Okay.
and said, Dad, I was on my way to kill myself, but I swear I didn't want to do it, but I was going to. And so I flew him out here to the Willows, the place that you said you worked at.
Yeah, the Willows in
And he's
Naples.
only been there now for 4 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
I know it well.
Man, what is this, dude? I had to talk to
Serendipitous.
you. God bless you, brother.
The way it worked. Well, you stopped me, and
I
so
stopped you.
the rest of it becomes spiritual
That's
after that,
exactly
man.
right, man. You know it.
We're gonna get deep here on the Red Carpet Monday, man. Seriously,
You know it.
I believe in that stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
My gosh, I got to realize I'm not on the cognitive rampage because we will go further.
Yeah.
What can anybody do to either tap in, to help, to look into it, or something like that, to what you're opening, and find out more information about that?
So my whole idea here is to break stigma, and that's actually the reason why I'm here, to get with other former professional athletes who have gone through the same thing I've gone through, so that we can get our
Yeah.
heads out of the sand and start letting people know that this hope is possible. And everyone goes through this. So if people can reach out to me, one thing, I'm really active on my Facebook page, Vance Johnson Athlete, and people reach out to me. I'm always communicating with them all night long because I'm up and I'm offering resources and places that they can go within our realm or whatever fits as far as their insurance. Because as you know, whether you have Medicaid, Medicare, in network, out of network, It just depends on what type of insurance. But I'm not going to be a fraud. So whoever reaches out to me, I'm getting them into treatment. And so my facility here, they go to the advancecares.com website. You can get in contact with myself or my assistant, and we'll do kind of a diagnosis and talk with you, love on you, and show you what you need to do to find your way out of this hell.
And Vance, thank you for this. You and I are going to talk a lot more.
You know it, brother.
I'm telling you, we're going to talk a lot more on the other podcast and go at length, and anything I can do to help too.
Vice versa, brother. I want to be part of your stream, man.
Well, you already are, at least on this one for Red Carpet, man.
Okay.
But once we'll lock in at the Cognitive Rampage, and I would love for you to be the subject, one of the others, the athletes in the book, the Athlete Suppression.
I'd love to, and I'll turn you into a number of brothers who are getting out of treatment over the last 6-7 years.
That's what we
You can
need.
go save some lives, man.
My God, man.
You got goosebumps, didn't you?
Yeah, I did,
Right.
man. I got scarves on, and I'm still getting
There you
goosebumps.
go.
So you know something's up.
Awesome. I'm honored, man.
Vance, thank you very much. We will chat probably for a long time after this.
God
man.
bless you. Talking a bit.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it.